My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep my content creation process running smoothly. I use ClickUp AI to brainstorm.
Inside you, there are two SSDs, a cactus side and a crucial side. But inside of either of them, they are truly Sonic. And let me show you what I mean by that. I have recently been made aware that there are SSDs out of Sonic ordering kiosks that are floating around online. This is what they look like, which is not what they look like, but somebody dumped two of them. And armed with that knowledge, I think you can figure out what I did with these. Now, unfortunately, while I don't know the specs that power the actual ordering kiosk here, we can at least recreate the experience. Folks, today we literally will have the Sonic we have at home. What a POS. This is the Micros Oracle thing of some kind, and I think it'll do fine to recreate the Sonic experience at home. And oh boy, would you look at these ports. 12 volt out, USB 5, IDEN Ethernet, CD1 and CD2. We're not gonna be using either of those, optical media bad. USB 1 and 2, the old HDMI. The customer display port. I think it's kind of funny that this HDMI is like HDMI, and then the customer just gets S-video. USB 3 and 4, now featuring 3.0. Ethernet 2, Ethernet port number 3, which is also COM2, which also apparently operates at 5, 9, and 12 volts. This one's kind of like that too, except this one is COM1, and then this one's COM5? Don't ask it about COMs 3 and 4. He doesn't talk about it anymore. Specifically HP out, do not plug a Dell into that. And the greatest port of them all. Ready? You're not ready for this one. PCI Express. Yeah, it's only by one, but brother, that's all I need. You can put a GPU on this. But before we get too carried away, remember, we're staying in for dinner tonight, but that's not gonna stop us from having Sonic. So like I mentioned earlier, there's currently two dumps floating around. Both of these have one of each. I don't know if they're any different, but if one is not working, we can try the other, or if one kind of sucks, we can just try the other. We got options, we got options. But in order to use those options, we're gonna have to get this guy open. So we can start here, or we can start here. Let's go with the card reader, huh? For the best luck possible, I'm gonna give the POS gods a sacrifice. I just realized that I'm going to have a bit of a bruh moment if I open this thing up and there's no SATA ports. I don't even really know what era this thing is, but judging from this sticker right here, which says, what does this say? Windows embedded, that's it? I think that's like a slightly newer Microsoft logo. So, I don't know, maybe like Windows 8, Windows 10? Honestly, we want something just a little bit older because I'm pretty sure that these SSDs from Sonic are running Windows 7 embedded. So we don't really want anything too new. Whoops, that's identifying information. But like I was saying, while we don't want anything too new, we also don't want anything too garbage. Wow, this is a very simple device actually. I guess mag strips have been around since the Stone Age, so I'm not surprised. Okay. Okay, dude. Just put the goddamn card reader on an RJ45. Why not? Why not? I'm not sure why, but I'm actually like pissed off about that. And look at this. Can you tell there used to be a compact flash card reader in there? Kids these days with their SD cards. What? Why doesn't this come out? I want this to come out. It looks like an antenna. Oh, you know what? That's probably the beep. You know, tap to pay. That's what it was. Okay, well, I don't think that comes out. At least not yet. Hold on. What is this? PCBWay time already? For the next 65 seconds, I am going to say nothing but PCBWay. 3, 2, 1, go! PCBWay, 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 PCBWay. You know, now that I'm watching this, it's actually really not that entertaining. So, why don't we fill the rest of the ad with details about PCBWay, huh? PCBWay helps take your DIY designs and projects and makes them real. And if you don't have any awesome designs of your own to make real, that's fine too. PCBWay has a shared project section on their website. In this section, you can browse other people's projects and then instantly order all of the parts that you need to build it yourself. They'll even do all of the soldering for you at their factory. PCBWay has over 10 years of prototyping and manufacturing experience, so they can handle anything that you throw at them. They're holding a 10th anniversary celebration right now on their website with a ton of deals, as well as this awesome little section right here where you can read more about PCBWay, try your luck to win some cool stuff, participate in their charity badge sale, and more. Bring your projects to life with PCBWay by using the link in the description and claim some fantastic deals from now until the end of August. PCBWay! That's it! Wow, that was, this many PCBWays. Anyway. See ya. I have once again run out of screws. Significantly faster this time. Well, let's move over to these ones up here, huh? This feels like a substantial piece. Ugh. Oh, we're only half dotated. DDR3L, 4 gigabytes? No, we're gonna need more than that. All I have is DDR4 and 2 gigabyte PC3L. All right, going in. You will surely not regret mismatched 6 gigabytes of DDR3. And then this looks like it's just the speakers, so those can go. What connector is this? Oh, they're just headphone jacks. I mean, it seems so obvious. They're speakers. Oh, it's not very loud, but it works. So we've got internal speakers connected with aux cables, a mag strip reader connected with an Ethernet plug. I think I'm seeing 2 micro USB ports. You know what? I'm kinda into this. Oh, there's another one right here. They're just using typically external connectors for internal stuff. You know what? That beats ribbon cables, I'll tell you that. There are so many. I'll show you guys. There are so many ribbon cables under here. There's no way I can just lift this straight out of the case. You didn't have to build it like this. That's pretty cool. No way. Another one? Is that another PCIe slot? That one's even bigger. That's either like a by 2 or by 4? What the heck, dude? This video isn't gonna really be about gaming, but maybe someday I should game on this. Wow, who would have thought? 2 PCI Express ports on the POS. Regardless, we must go further. Oh, if you've been waiting for a proper model number, it looks like this is a Micros Workstation 6. I think this is it. Oh, here she comes. What's inside? The soon-to-be a Sonic ordering menu, which is actually a Micros Workstation 6. Oh, you have to be kidding me. The back is the CPU cooler. That's it? This giant chunk of metal is keeping that CPU cool? Dude, we'll be lucky if this is an Intel Atom. Okay, what did we come here for? SSD. There's an M SATA, 2 of them actually, and here's a regular SATA. Oh, I don't even need the screwdriver. It just comes out. This is very small. I think it's a 64 gig SSD. Well, the images for the Sonic ones were only 64 gigs, so I guess I could just clone it to here, and then we could actually put this thing back together, because, it don't exactly fit. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get these ones cloning, but in the meantime... Don't lie. You love this. How do you power this thing? It's not this. That's 12 volt out, not in. I suppose we'll consult the manual. Mounting the workstation on an Oracle Micros stand. Close enough. Oh. It looks to me that there is a AC adapter in the stand for this, which is not something I own. You stick it in the stand, but how is it powered? Oh, that is... What? I think this giant cable has it going into our PCIe slot? Oh man, they probably just used a PCIe slot, but it's not actually PCIe. That means if we tried to plug a graphics card into this thing, it would probably just blow it up. So good thing we read this. That is super ultra not helpful though, because I don't have that stand. All right, guess we're doing this my way. So here's our power jack, also known as PCI Express. Look at these rusty buttons. What's the deal? Why are they so rusty? Why is this got like a rubber thing on it? So many mysteries. Okay. Oh boy. I'm really not sure about this one. Nothing is screaming at me on this side as to where I should put my plus and minus voltage. Let's take a look around the back. Oh boy. My confidence is real low on this one. So this little array of pins here, these are our PCIe/power slot. You can see a region here where it's grouping off some of them, and then the other ones are kind of on this region. And then there's kind of slightly bigger pins up top and on the bottom here. Oh, I don't like this, but I think I'm gonna try and see if one of these regions is ground and one of them is 12 volts and hope I'm not wrong. So we'll check for ground first by sticking it on the outside of this port. So if we touch that over here, we get nothing. If we touch it to these ones, we get quite a bit of something. Okay, so these ones should just be ground. And now I don't know if this is how this works, but this is the 12 volt out over here, these pins. I'm gonna touch it to that and then touch over here. Okay, so I may be extremely wrong about this and I may blow this up, but since the 12 volt out has ground and since it also just has 12 volts, I think I can just plug 12 volts into the 12 volt out and it will power this. I think. We've got our 12 volt AC adapter. We've got our motherboard and heatsink reinstalled. Let's see what she do. I was totally right. Wow. That was pretty easy. I thought I was gonna have to cause far more irreparable harm than that. That was downright reparable harm. I don't know where this blue screen is coming from though, because I didn't plug the SSD back in. What storage media is that? Interesting. Well, I'm sick of continuously taking the cover on and off, so that mystery is going to remain unsolved. Solved for now. I would like to plug our SSD back in though. Plug in a little bit of dirty cherry keyboard. Let's take some orders. For the sake of visibility, actually, I'm gonna move the keyboard and then turn the lights off. All right, let's see if we can't get to the BIOS, huh? Ooh, system info. Oh, what do you know? It is an Atom. E3827. Thank God the speed of this can be measured in gigahertz. There's our wonderful mismatched RAM. Both of them downclocked to 1333. 1333, more like okay with me. So we have UEFI and Legacy, I think. Let's see if I turn this off. Oh, well now I can't do either. Well, hopefully the Sonic terminals are using UEFI. What? Fuck it, Android in the BIOS. So here's our SSD. There we go. All right, we are number 1. Save. So here's our SSD. There we go. All right, we are number 1. Save. Nope. I got a feeling that we need to be booting Legacy. There is very likely a secure boot thing stopping us from doing that. Well, no, secure boot activation disabled. Oh, hey, look at this.
Eles estão vindo com tudo. Quer saber? Eu tô sem ação.
Afastem eles daqui!
Eles estão pressionando! Saiam daqui!
You can have EFI defaults or Legacy defaults. Let's load Legacy defaults. Exit saving changes. Oh, that's a new screen. But it landed us back here. That's fine. I think we need to go change the boot order again. Wait, where did our SSD go? It was literally just here. Did something get weird with the SSD? It's not this, right? No, definitely not. It says this is on eMMC card. I think I might have missed like a micro SD card or maybe just like an onboard eMMC chip or something. I just don't know what's going on. EFI defaults, why not? Okay, what's going on? It can see it when I load the EFI defaults, but not in the Legacy defaults? What? I found it. Chipset SATA is disabled. We'll just re-enable that. Save and exit. There it is. We're either about to experience Sonic, or we're gonna be experiencing more suffering. Come on, Sonic.
Nope.
I can feel it. I can feel the suffering in my bones. What's the problem? Screw it. OS, Linux. Why not? I just want to experience Sonic.
Nope.
Okay, well, you know what we do have? We do have 2 SSDs. Let's try the second one.
Nope.
Really?
How'd that plan turn out for you, dummy?
You know, if I were a Micros Oracle, I would boot from the Cactus flash card. That's all I'm saying.
Nope.
But no, you just gotta be like this. You gotta be not booting it. I have one idea. If Sonic OS is nothing more than Windows 7, I could just take a Windows 7 installer, run that, and then when it freezes and fails to load the installer after 10 minutes, I can try Hiron's boot CD, which just crashes and then reboots the whole thing. I'm starting to think that the Micros Oracle kinda sucks. You guys are never gonna believe this. I tried Windows 7, I tried Windows 10, I tried Ubuntu, I tried Hiron's boot CD, just nothing. Then I go into this diagnostic screen, IA32. Interesting. This Intel Atom, the E3827, you know it, you love it. That's a 64-bit CPU. Our BIOS version is 32-bit. Folks, this is a 64-bit household. We're gonna have to do something about that. And based on this obscure forum post, we can upgrade the BIOS version to 64-bit UEFI. However, first we have to install Windows 8 32-bit, then we can make the BIOS update. All right, folks, who's ready to go on a Windows 8 adventure? This feels like I'm contacting a dead relative. Ah, I need a key. I forgot that this was from back in the day when you couldn't just be like, oh yeah, I've totally got a key. I'll totally put it in later, I swear. And now we wait. Now you'll have to excuse me for not wanting to go through the Windows 8 setup. Since all we really need to do is run a BIOS update, we're just gonna pop this guy into audit mode. That looks very weird. And then do what we gotta do. This tool will start flashing in 5 seconds. Oh, there it goes. All right, you take the wheel, BIOS update. No one on an obscure forum has ever steered me wrong before. And the first time is not gonna be today. Come on, Micros Oracle, come on! How long is this supposed to take? Hello? I'm making an executive decision. It either worked, or we're gonna need a new Micros Oracle. Hey, it worked! Well, we don't technically know that yet. It could still be on the old BIOS. Look, I just wanted to restart the computer, not get hit with PTSD. Nice. It did not update. Nice. Nice. It wants me to have a .rom file, and I have a .cap file. But lucky for me, through the power of renaming the file, I now have a .rom. This sounds like a one-way ticket to corrupting the piss out of this BIOS, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta risk it for that Sonic-flavored biscuit. I don't even think Sonic sells biscuits.
Objection!
Flash. Oh, well, they put a stop to that pretty quick. No biscuit for us. Back again with some more stuff I found on a forum. This one is to flash Dell BIOSes, but it should work here too. They're both Phoenix BIOS. It'll be fine. And this one accepts cap. Something something biscuit. Oh, this one's actually going. Oh, this is hard to watch. Well, man, at this point I'd kind of rather it just corrupts my BIOS and so I can be done with this thing. Failed to initialize SMI. I couldn't even begin to tell you what that means. What if I run it with the original tool and then do my own restart before it restarts? Oh, no way, that worked! No way! Okay, so that black screen that we were getting after running the BIOS updater, that was just it failing to restart Windows. I had a feeling. It didn't seem like the computer had ever rebooted, so I just thought, fine, I'll do it myself. And look at that. One beep at a time, we are ever closer to Sonic. And now we have a 64-bit BIOS. Heck yeah, brother. Oh, also see that it only says 4 gigs of RAM. Yeah, somewhere along the way I ended up taking this 2 gigabyte stick out. It was causing the Windows 8 installer to crash. Don't mismatch your RAM, kids. But now that we're here, the SSD is set to be the first boot device. Now we'll swap out our SSD with Windows 8 to our Sonic SSD. Also, no, you're not crazy. This was a Sonic SSD at one point, but remember a while ago I copied it to the internal one. And after I hit this button, Sonic will be among us. It's never that easy. All right, what now? So we're kinda just back stuck here again. We can do what I was trying to do earlier, and we can run the Windows 7 installer. Maybe not. So why exactly am I so hell-bent on running the Windows 7 installer? The Windows installers have some repair tools baked into them that are useful for trying to troubleshoot and repair Windows installations that aren't booting. You're given a whole bunch of useless crap that mostly doesn't do anything, but you are also granted a command prompt, which is a protected right under the Second Amendment. With the command prompt, we can fix critical boot stuff in the SSD that might have gotten corrupted at some point before the original dumper had taken their dump. Stinky. But to get to that point, we need to successfully boot a Windows 7 installer, which, for some reason, this thing is just not willing to do. I can boot Linux, and for the first time in my life, that's not what I'm trying to do. Alright, enough of trying to do this on the Micros Oracle. We'll just stick... If you were exposed to PC gaming in the mid-2000s,
You may be entitled to financial compensation.
you might have played a little game by the name of Counter-Strike Source. I take it that you probably know at least a little about CS Source since you clicked on this video, so I'm gonna skip over explaining its history and all that and just drop us right into the map CS Office. This map is very important to me. This single map had a hand in exposing me to Counter-Strike, Half-Life, Garry's Mod, and Team Fortress 2, all at the exposing me to Counter-Strike, Half-Life, Garry's Mod, and Team Fortress 2, all at the same time. Like Half-Life, Garry's Mod, and Team Fortress 2, all at the same time. And yet I had never even played on it. This is the YouTube channel. He's the creator of played on it. This is the YouTube channel. He's the creator of the Gmod Idiot Box series of YouTube videos that lasted from 2008 to 2015. This series was one of the very first things that I had stumbled upon when I had first started watching YouTube as a small brinkish boy. These Gmod videos were the funniest things I had ever seen. And after watching all of them, all I wanted to do was go and play with all those funny characters by myself on my own computer. After a while, I figured out how to install Steam, begged my mom to buy me Gary's mod, which I had pitched to her as Minecraft with realistic graphics, and the rest is history. But now that I'm older and debatably wiser, I see these videos through a new lens, and I notice things that I just wouldn't have before, like this specific computer in the background of Gmod Idiot Box 1. This specific model of computer appears in several places throughout the map, and anytime that I'm playing CSS or Gmod nowadays and I'm on this map, I look at these computers, and because of my specific strain of ADHD, they really get me thinking. What would it be like to use the computer from CS Office? What kind of hardware might be in it? What operating system would it have? What kind of games could it play?
Introducing Agora's conversational AI engine. Build and integrate your AI agent in minutes. Any model, any voice. With ultra-low latency responses and intelligent interruption handling, Agora brings natural conversation flow to voice AI. And with advanced background noise suppression, AI can understand you no matter where you are.
If you're familiar with my channel, then you'll know that I like computers. Weird ones. The more obscure, the better. The less they were intended to ever be gamed on, the better. But computers. Weird ones. The play. If you're familiar with my channel, then you'll know that I like computers. Weird ones. The more obscure, the better. The less they were intended to ever be gamed on, the better. But having worked in the e-waste industry, I also have a knack for recognizing extremely common ones. To me, the computer from CS Office looks a lot like an older Dell.
What's weird is the moderation note says it's from 2017. Even crazier than that, if you go on Roblox, it actually says I'm online and in a game right now. But if I try to log in, it just says I'm banned. I didn't know what to do, so I DM'd Roblox asking for them to unban me, and they just replied with this video.
Sticking out your gap for the Rizzler. You're so skibbity. You're so Phantom Tax.
So I just got banned on Roblox. What's weird is the moderation note says it's from 2017. Even crazier.
What kind of games could it play? If you're familiar with my channel, then you'll know that I like computers. Stinky. But to get to that point, we need to successfully boot a Windows 7 installer, which, for some reason, this thing is just not willing to do. I can boot Linux, and for the first time in my life, that's not what I'm trying to do. Alright, enough of trying to do this on the Micros Oracle. We'll just stick this on the test bench and see if it'll boot. And if it doesn't, at the very least, we can boot the Windows 7 installer and try and get this thing fixed. I was so hopeful back then. Trying to boot the SSD directly was a no-go. Black screen, nothing else. And as for trying to fix the installation, no amount of dicking around in diskpart, bootrec, or any of the other tools in the Windows installer would get this Windows installation to even be recognized. And they can't fix what they can't see. Back then. Trying to boot the SSD directly was a no-go. Black screen, nothing else. And as for trying to fix the installation, no amount of dicking around in diskpart, bootrec, or any of the other tools in the Windows installer would get this Windows installation to even be recognized. And they can't fix what they can't see. I booted up another tool called Hiron's Boot CD, which has some more advanced tools for fixing this absolutely fried Windows installation. But everything in Hiron's... Let's do a bit of a recap for a second. Well? I didn't have one of these growing up. I'm not really sure what to say about it. And I know this thing is beloved in many people's hearts, so I don't want to do it dirty, you know, and upset everybody that loves beloved in many people's growing up. I'm not really sure what to say about it. And I know this thing is beloved in many people's hearts, so I don't want to do it dirty, you know, and upset everybody that loves beloved in many people's hearts, so I don't want to do it dirty. What to say about it? And I know this thing is beloved in many people's hearts, so I don't want to do it dirty, you know, and upset everybody that loves this thing. So because of that, I have asked ChatGPT, please write an intro for a Bringus Studios video about opening and cleaning and modifying a fat PlayStation 2 that sounds exactly like something Bringus Studios would say. So according to ChatGPT, here is my intro for this PlayStation 2 video. Hey there, tech adventurers! Welcome back to Bringus Studios, where we dive into the heart of gaming nostalgia. Today, we're cracking open the vault of classic gaming to bring you a special treat: a fat PlayStation 2. This isn't just any walkthrough. We're going to open up this bad boy, give it a thorough cleaning, and show you some of the cool mods that will breathe new life into this legendary console. So grab your screwdrivers and join us as we explore the inner workings of the PS2 and transform it into a machine that's ready for the future of retro gaming. Let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. Okay, well now that that's over with, here's the plan. I don't know much about the PlayStation 2, but I know that there is a big ol' IDE hard drive right up in here. Max Tor. I haven't heard that name in ages. 250 gigabyte PATA. So we're gonna be replacing this, and we're gonna be installing this little pile of goodies. So as you can see at the bottom here, there's a fan. Because this old guy is not really known for being the quietest. The fat PS2 could really have learned a thing or two from the slim one, and that lesson comes today in the form of knock to a fan. And besides that, there's all the stuff to actually mount that up, a memory card, and a SATA adapter board to convert our crummy old IDE hard drive adapter into a cool little SATA one. And this is pretty cool because not only is this an IDE hard drive controller, but it also handles network stuff. And by using this, we don't have to replace this entire thing. We can just, you know, stick a new controller on there and be good to go. We can still do all the web surfing we want. I assume, at least, I don't know. What can you do with PS2 internet in 2024? Don't think about it too much. I swear to you, this will be worth the time. So without further ado, hard drive adapter time. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can replicate it with another screw. Oh, that was a crisp